Okay. Let's see here. Getting my mic set up right. I keep thinking I'm going to do something differently with my mic, but I never actually do beforehand. There we go. Because I make all the mic adjustments right before the show starts. Nope, that's not working. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. This is probably about as good a time as any to get going here. All right. Let me... There we go. Let that music just flow on out. I'm getting an echo from someplace. Am I getting an echo? I have no idea. Echo, echo, echo. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those days, I tell you. And right off the bat, hello, Killer Rabbit from space. Yes, third time's a charm here. Been, let me go ahead and kill that music. There we go. All right. It's quiet. Woohoo. I'm not hearing an echo. I don't know where that was coming from. That's really odd. Anyway, as you can tell from my thumbnail, I am trying something new and different, going out of what little comfort zone I have, I guess. I'm having a look at some of those how to draw art style books. The one I'm specifically going to look at here is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Well, actually, I might as well just kick it right to my, let's see, what button do I push? Do I do that one, perhaps? Oh, there's my microphone right in the shot. How about that? All right. So, of course, there I was looking at my home library thinking, what am I going to talk about tonight? And then I thought, well, gee, I could always talk about comic book art yet again. That's always a popular subject. We had a beautiful spring-like day in Winnipeg. That's cool. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit warmer here as well. So there found my old college art supply. Well, some of my college art supplies. I mean, I went to college for a degree in photography, and I had to take a bunch of art classes like line drawing, color fundamentals, and I found a few of the supplies left over from that. All these different crazy looking pencils. What is this? 2H, 5B. There's another 5B. And HB. And a bunch of erasers. I actually had a drawing pad someplace, but I could not find that. So this is what I'm looking at right now is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way by Stan Lee and John Buscema. Very cool. Now, I'm going to play with this a little bit, but I also wanted to show you all some having to reach over and grab them. I've got some other stuff here as well, like what is this? How to draw manga. Oh, putting things into perspective. These kind of how to draw manga, illustrating battles, and then how to tone manga, CD-ROM edition. And this is Antarctic Press. I'm not really going to go into these because these are kind of scary looking. That's some serious 1-point perspective right there. There I was thinking, everybody's going on about comic book artists and comic book this and that, and I'm thinking, well, gee, if comic book art is all the rage, how hard is it to get into drawing characters? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? So yeah, it's like me. I'm just looking at this more out of my own curiosity. I have no plans on becoming a comic book artist. I'm quite happy being an artist on another medium like photography. I'm going to set those aside. This is what I'm going to dig into some tonight. I'm going to attempt something other than stick figures. I didn't notice there were some interesting things in this book. Okay, we got a little dedication here that I thought was pretty funny. This is dedicated to John Buscema, the Michelangelo of the comics, Stan Lee. Dedicated to Stan Lee, who knows talent when he sees it, John Buscema. And then it follows up with, oh, well, you win some, you lose some, Stan. But seriously, folks, dedicated to every wide-eyed guy or gal who has ever held a pencil, pen, or crayon and dreamed of telling fantastic stories through pictures, to everyone who's ever thrilled to the sight of a dazzling drawing and longed to be able to copy it, or better still, to create an original. Or you could just let AI do it. Like I talked about in my last live stream about how you do a whole comic book through text prompts with an AI generator. But yeah, in short, to everyone and anyone who's ever wanted to be a comic book artist, you're our kind of people. We know just how you feel. You see, we've been there ourselves. Stan and John. That's nice. Oh, in the chat, I see. Yeah, I can draw a wicked stick man. Yes. The issue with how-to books is people lose their personal styling, much like music. People learn how to draw like another. Yeah. Melted copper, a pen and paper. How dirty. And I can whisper. Oh yeah. Okay. So I thought this was kind of interesting. We have some pretty basic exercises here. Chapter 1, the tools, the talk of the trade. We've got all these things. I know I've got some of these around still when I went to college about finished up college about 8 years ago when I was going for my photography degree. I have a very expensive piece of paper that says I can take pictures good. And I had to take these oddball art classes that didn't really seem all that connected to photography or what I was wanting to get into at that time, but they were kind of fun. Hello, DJ Ronnie G. Oh, yay, books. Yes, yes, I'm trying something new here. Oh, you're going to load this up on your phone while you get a snack. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for joining us tonight, DJ. Well, thanks all for joining me tonight, whether you're live, lurking, hanging out in a chat, or catching me on replay. Once again, I'm looking at how to draw comics the Marvel way. I've got some pencils here. Some of them are kind of sharp. I don't think I've sharpened that since college, actually. I had to dig around for these because I almost forgot where I had them stored. It's been better part of a decade since I graduated college. Then I had to find my pencil sharpener. And my kitty cat has decided to chime in some. That's not sharpening. Is he going to draw for us? Melted Copper asks. I am going to attempt something. It may be a basic stick figure. Because when I was going to college for a degree in fine art photography. I had to take a bunch of art classes. And then I was looking around earlier today about something for a topic for tonight's live stream. I just happened to see a bunch of these books on my one of my library shelves. And I thought, well, this would be kind of interesting to dig into. Kind of a kind of reaching over, having to go over and talk about comic book art. Now, this, come to think of it, this is kind of interesting comparing manga to Western style art, I guess, if you want to call it that. And if you want to talk something that's radically different, let's see here. Here we go. Oh, like this guy right here. If I can hold that open and then breeze through this for an equivalent image, it is kind of interesting to compare and contrast different styles of art from two different, well, I was about to say two different mediums, but I guess they're 2D printed and they are both in similar formats. Can I find a good enough image about that? Well, how about the cover? So yeah, manga, anime related, very distinctive styling. And then you get American styled comic book art, also very distinctive. And my kitty cat agrees. She is begging for attention. I don't know if my microphone is picking that up. That's interesting. Right now, what could I say about manga versus the current American comic books? Manga is beating the comic book industry at the moment, but that is a completely different subject. Let's see. You want to train an AI art model with your own stick figures. Yeah. And I'm playing with this format at the moment, ironically. Drawing. Very cool. Manga to me is like cartoons with most of the same face for everyone. Yeah, there's some differences. You got manga and then you got the anime adaptations of a manga. So yeah, they are kind of similar. There are some differences in the faces depending on which anime or manga you go to. It's reverse. You always see American comics in color. Yeah, typically they are, and manga in black and white. The price of ink can be hugely expensive. That's interesting. I never really thought about all that. I mean, I know there's probably a huge um, production cost, so to speak, in the comic book industry. I mean, everything that goes into producing a book. Well, I guess it's pretty similar. Pretty similar to manga. This is looking very similar to the How to Draw a Manga book I had a few minutes ago. We got the 1 point perspective, blocks. I mean, you start somewhere, right? You go to college, you learn how to draw blocks, shading, cylinders. All right, so it's been a while. I'm going to set this right there and reposition my microphone here. There we go. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Oh, all right. Selecting a. At one time, I had actually remembered what all these were. I know. I'm going to go for a sharp one. They're my favorite. 5B. I do not have a sketch pad. I had a sketch pad, but it is buried in a box someplace. Because when you, like, typically when you move, everything's in boxes. But I grabbed some printer paper for tonight. Like, no, I was like, I finished college and then I just like boxed everything up thinking, well, I'll never use these art supplies ever again. Oh, look. All right. So I am going to do something incredibly basic like a square because the Submariner up here is pointing to a square. And now let's get a little heavier. Even blah, blah, blah. Spheres, cubes, and cylinders can use some embellishment, and this is the way we add shading to reinforce the feeling of dimension. All right. I'm kind of having flashbacks of art class in college here. So we got a cube. Now I will advance from a cube to some stick figures here pretty quick, but uh, this is scary. This is pretty bad. I should have grabbed a ruler if I could find one. I'm going to say that's the one I'm shading in because that looks so bad. Styles are different. Padawannabe. Hello, Padawannabe. Thanks for joining me in the chat. Styles are different, but it's a 90-degree angle in any languages. Yes. Yes. Rulers make straight lines. Uh, Shaky, unsteady hands make curved lines or squiggly lines. And a photographer makes a really terrible looking cube. Yes, that's supposed to be a cube. Okay. I'm going to advance to let's see, what's terribly boring? What is the most boring thing I can think of? A cylinder. A cylinder should be easy, right? That's not bad. Maybe some slight shading on this side of it. I know. What do these other pencils do? HB. That felt harder. That felt like a harder lead. That feels like a softer lead. Okay. Yeah, I can tell the difference in pencils. There's a much softer lead. Yes, yes, I am a semi-retired professional photographer, and you still got to mail out some rolls of film for processing. That's cool. Now, I've been a hobbyist photographer for most of my life, semi-professional for 15 or so years. At one point, decided I wanted to go and get a expensive piece of paper saying I was a photographer, and went to college for a degree. Oh, that is a harder lead. Okay, what is this? HB. HB must mean hard lead. Yeah, that's really hard lead. All right, so I am advancing on. I think I have. I'm going to say I have mastered the cube and I have mastered the cylinder. I am, well, not really. I can like make marks. The power of perspective. Now that is one thing I thought was really neat. I remember some of the first classes I took in college was the uh, fundamentals of drawing or something, and the 1 point perspectives were always neat because everybody had a chance to like make cityscapes and buildings, rooms, and like, oh look, everything goes back to 1 point perspective. Isn't it neat? Let's study the figure. Ah, B is harder, HB is the middle, and H is softer. I like 4H for shading. That's cool. That's cool. All right. There's a 5B. So if B is hard, this is 5B. Oh yeah, that feels. I'm going to put 5B up there. 2H. Oh yeah, and that's also broken. I've got my old. Let's check that out. Old school pencil sharpener. As I am. That's kind of sharp. But yeah, okay. I can feel the differences in lead there. Okay. To be. To be or not to be? Oh, bad joke. 5B, another 5B. Well, that did not go well. I think the lead broke. Yeah, it feels like the lead broke. All right. So I got that. I got some, what was this? An extra soft gummy eraser that does not seem to want to erase. All right. And I got this kind of eraser. All right. This one seems to be a little bit better at erasing. All right. I think I am ready to advance on to the figure. All right, so aha, the Pat of Wannabe says it has to do with the amount of graphite they put in the mix. Used to shade with my fingers often, so I liked the softer pencils. That is really cool. I remember we had what were called like little rolled up paper sticks that they called smudge sticks. So this is pretty good. Again, how to draw comics the Marvel way. As it says here, there might be something more important than figure drawing and comic book artwork, but we sure don't know what it is. Everything is based on how you draw the characters, the heroes, the villains, and the never ending hordes of supporting stars. Superhero comic books are the stories of people, period. And we're going to try to teach you everything you ought to know about drawing those people and drawing them as dramatically as and heroically as possible. That's nice. Where are the stick figures at? I know there's stick figures in here. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, I gotta admit, the more I dug into this over the years, checking out comic book art and seeing comic book artists at different conventions and whatnot, it is definitely a skill. So yeah, much respect. There we go. Here's something more my speed. All right. Got to adjust my chair here. There we go. Oh, yes. All right. Now I can kind of see above my microphone. All right. So we got a stick figure running, fighting, standing with a cane. Okay, now this is neat. Progression from a stick figure to a little bit more fleshed out character, and then it becomes Iron Man. So from stick figure to Iron Man. That is pretty cool. And then stick figure, a little more proportioned out, and it becomes Spider-Man. That's pretty cool. Thor. I have no idea who that is by looking. The name of the game is Action. Oh, okay. Best, not bad. Weak, not bad. Best. Okay, so there's like a little spectrum of, honestly, some of this does carry over to photography. I mean, if I'm working with a somebody who's wanting a dramatic photo, I will work with them and have them pose in a dramatic fashion. So yeah, this is there's some correlation here between 2D art and how you pose somebody for a photograph. It can be static and can be dynamic. The human head. Okay, I'm going back to those stick figures because that's my comfort zone. Stick figures. Ah, Padawannabe says you had the sticks, but you didn't like them too much. Good for a fine line or point, though. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I'm going to pour a little bit more tea here and get some caffeine in me. There we go. All right. So how's everybody doing in the chat? Thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm not really talking about too much going on. It's been one of those days where I was going nonstop from start of my day to the end of my day, and I didn't have much time to prep. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do this and kind of wing it. I will attempt some stick figures, and then I'll probably end the stream sharing some art books I have. Let's see. I think I'm going to try this one here where he's running. Don't know if my camera can really pick that up. So it is circle, line, little circle, line, and then what looks like a oval, and then a sphere, circle, line, circle. Big oval. No, that's yeah. No idea what I'm doing here, but I figured I would take a shot at this just for the heck of it. It does remind me one time of something I heard somebody once tell another photographer friend of mine. Like this guy was talking to him and saying, "Yeah, photography is the easiest job in the world. All you do is just push a button. Just push a button." Like, no, it's not that easy. It's a bit more involved. And yeah, that's completely horrible. But I'm a photographer, not an artist. Wee happy face. I don't know. That's the beginning of something, right? He's either running or he's falling down and smiling while he's doing it. Yes, yes. Photography often requires more people skills than I care to use. Yeah, yeah. If you're an introvert, you've got to learn those people skills. I was a introvert because I was changing career paths from the tech industry to photography. Is something I quite enjoyed. So it's like, depending on uh, what branch of photography you go into, because there's different career paths in photography. There's, like, of course, portraiture, there's still life, there's documentation, there's even well, photographer's assistant is a big career path because you can make some pretty good money just assisting other photographers. All right. So I'm looking at this bottom pose where it looks like this guy is recovering from throwing a punch. I'm trying to analyze this, like, where would a comic book artist start this? This is interesting. Much like analyzing a photograph, if you look at a drawing and analyze that, like, where is the starting point for something like this? I'm almost guessing it's going to be this line right here, because everything seems to flow from this center line, which is, well, let's say it's the spine of this rough character. So I'm going to flip the page over. I'm just going to make a simple line here. So that is the spine of it. And then I'm going to make a oval here for the hips. Let's see, they've got a line intersecting here, and then here, and then that's probably too big. And then this, the arm going out here, elbow, rest of the arm, the hand. And it is kind of interesting to kind of stop and analyze a drawing, like, where is the starting point? Where does the artist start? And I can tell you all sorts of stuff on how to approach a photo shoot, the pre-production that goes into it, location scouting if you're doing something like that, but making something like a dramatic looking stick figure, I am completely lost here, but that is kind of the point to this stream. I was wanting to do something just out of my wheelhouse. So yeah. So there is a professional in the book, and there is my scribbling right there. Yeah, I aced it. Yeah, comic books, here I come. Let's see. Oh, and of course, as DJ Ronnie G says, photography requires people skills. Yep. Yeah, if you're not comfortable dealing with people, you probably don't want to go into photography, especially if you say, "Oh, I want to be a wedding photographer. That sounds fun." You're going to be around a whole lot of people. I'm going to go with a. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. Do I want to do the Iron Man stick figure? That looks interesting. Again, it looks like the starting point is as the text says, notice how you can add ovals for the rib cage and the hips. Then for the arms and legs, you can start building the figure by adding cylinders. For example, say you want to draw Iron Man in a crouch about to spring at some malicious miscreant. First, you get the proper position for him by means of a simple stick figure. Then you build his body, flesh it out by adding cylinders. Always draw through the figure, that is, even if some portion of the body will be hidden by an arm or a leg. Draw it through anyway. You can eliminate it later when you add the limb, which will conceal it. But by drawing through, you make certain you've got every part of the anatomy positioned in the right place. That's cool. So yeah, I'm going to start with, I guess, the center line, which is probably going to be the spine of the character. And then I'm going to go, oh, that is an odd shaped head. That's like an egg head. Sorry, Tony, I gave you an egg head. Egghead Iron Man. Dun 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 dun. So there's like a little ball joint there. Let's see, line there. I can tell you, over the years, I have seen comic books with varying degrees of art, shall we say, from different skill levels. And some people who want to do a comic book thinking they can draw, and what they put out is like, oh, you shouldn't quit your day job. Cylinder like this right here, I can already tell this is massively bad. Yes, everything I'm doing is wrong. I'm just making, this is just the attempt to see what I can do here. And I can already tell where I am going horribly, horribly wrong. Like when you're taking class and then the instructor comes over and looks at your progress and says, everything you're doing is wrong. You should really just start over. So yeah, rudimentary stick figures. I gotta say, much respect to comic book artists of any skill level. That is not easy. It is a skill that takes years and years to hone. But this book looks pretty interesting. I actually do not know how long I've had this book. I know. Got it at a half-price bookstore. Can't tell you how long ago that was, but copyright 1978. So yeah, what do artists do? Do they like go to like community college? You artists out there, how do you get into this? Do you just start taking classes on drawing, anatomy? I mean, where do you start? Dealing with blocks, cubes, and cylinders. Oh, this is pretty interesting. Blocks, cylinders, circles, lines. It's really interesting how that evolves from blocks to a face. And then, of course, each artist has their own unique style to it. Oh, this is neat. Each shape that's pretty cool. And of course, there is going to be plenty of thought about where things go on the face. So yeah, I guess if you're somebody who is a artist of any genre, you're probably going to have your own home library full of similar books as to this. Reference books, reference material, things that you go over. All right. Similar vein, how to draw manga, putting things into perspective. See, right off the bat, this is pretty cool. I mean, the discipline involved. Chapter 1, Basics. This seems a little bit more dense, if I want to put it that way. It's a little bit more involved, I want to say. I mean, this is probably a basic start. This seems like it picks it up a notch or kicks it up a notch. Also depends on what style of art you like. If you like this anime manga style, or if you prefer traditional American comic books. I like both, actually. I like both Western and anime manga. I can appreciate both as an art form and the skill required to produce this work. as opposed to a terrible stick figure. I'm going to put that away and never show that again. All right, what else do I have here? I have How to Tone Manga CD edition, and yes, it has the CD on it. So this is, wow. This looks really involved. So I've been rambling on here, drawing stick figures and cylinders for close to an hour or so. So I'm going to shift gears, and I'm going to show some art books I have that I thought were kind of neat. Reaching over. Let's see. I don't want this one. Yes, I do want this one. All right. So one of these was a book I recently picked up. I'm going to move all this off my desk. There we go. Do not need the pencils anymore because I'm pretty much through boring everyone to tears with my meager drawing skills. Now I'm going to show off some, or share some art books I have here. One thing about it, if you like art, you're always going to have something as a reference. Okay, so I'm moving around my desk here. Let's see. I'm going to set this, where I'm going to set this book here. DJ Ronnie G, I just organized my Gundam paint markers. That's cool. All right, so I got, now in the early 90s, I was back when I was really big into comic books. I was also big into fantasy art. Like, well, everybody loves Frazetta and people love Boris Vallejo, but I was digging other artists out there. Like, this is the art of Don Matz, ever how you pronounce that. Dream Quests. Matz's artwork on the cover makes any book stand out from a shelf and yell, "Read me first," a quote by Anne McCaffrey. Since his professional debut 20 years ago, artist Don has been giving form to the fantastic in a way that has won him widespread recognition by both his professional peers and an enthusiastic public. Very cool. No, I was just always dug fantasy artwork because at the time I was reading a lot of fantasy novels. It's like what hooks you on any novel is the cover artwork, because you can just walk around a bookstore going, "Oh, I'm looking for something new to read," and it's like there is. You look at the artwork that's on the cover, and if it will stand out and grab your attention, you will stop, pick up that book, look at the cover, and go, "What in the world is this about?" Then you'll flip it over, look at the back of it, read the synopsis on the back. The Art of Don Metz. And then, let's see. I'm going to flip through these, see if there are any images I remember from any novels I've seen out there. Not right offhand. But that's kind of neat. I've got a few other, I got quite a bit of fantasy artwork, but they're all in trading card formats. I got a lot of Boris Vallejo because he's one of my favorite fantasy artists. I'll set that one aside. Nothing but mech. I just recently picked this up. This is, what is this? "31 of the contributing designers to the blog Nothing But Mech are featured in this first installment of a series. The title will showcase various types of mech designs that the artists create when not working on blockbuster films, TV commercials, and video games." Ooh. Do I recognize any of these names? Aaron Beck, Alex J. Cunningham, Alex Yeager, Ben Morrow. No, nothing offhand. No, none of these. Oh, Miguel Lopez, maybe? I don't know. No, none of these names jump out at me. But let's see. Yeah, if you like giant robots, Gundam, Macross, anything, Big O. Now that's pretty neat. Okay, that was an interesting image. This makes me wonder what is going on here. Because this mech pilot, obviously the mech is a convertible, but she's got something going on here like she's about to fire the main weapon or cast a spell. I don't know. It's like combining magic with technology. That's crazy looking. Oh, and we're back to stick figures. Oh no. Robo Dog stick figure. Yeah, she's controlling it like a G Gundam. She also has magic question mark. That's what I'm wondering. Not into G Gundam, but I like her uniform. Yeah, that was pretty neat. Let's go back and have another look at it. Although having a second look at it, it's like you got like a little target here, or maybe it might be like a targeting display, like you're controlling the weapon on the main arm here. So you move this arm around, you target something, and then, yeah, holographic user interface, heads up display. Yeah, that's pretty neat. So yeah, this is pretty neat stuff. Now that's an odd one. It's like mech as basic transportation. Kid mech would be fun. Cyborg skull was cool. Cyborg skull. Okay, let's go back. That's freaky looking. Where was the... Oh, that one. This is by Ben Morrow. That's pretty cool. I'm just kind of flipping through this. Oh. Sports mechs. Now, these are all pretty cool. So I'm going to... Oh, that's neat. That's heavily armored. So I'm going to shift gears here from this one to... let's see, what else do I have here? Oh. Last two books of the evening. Speaking of mechs, Robotech Art 1 and then Robotech Art 2. The official guide to the Robotech universe. Robotech, Donnie G. DJ Ronnie G says, you hate Harmony Gold. Is that a character? It's been ages since I've watched any of this, so I don't quite remember all the characters. This is, what is this? From the animated series Robotech. Copyright 1986. Get the introduction here. This is cool. You're doing a stream about Macross and Robotech next Monday. Oh, cool. Okay. I will have to look for that. Very cool. It has been, okay, looking through these images, I can, I'm starting to have flashbacks, I guess, of the series. It has been ages since I've watched this show. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. Because I know some of these characters, because I've seen this guy cosplayed a lot at some conventions. Well, the first photo looked like a room full of late 70s computers. Let's see, where was that? Let's see, this is Carl Masick facing far right and team setup the Harmony Gold Robotech booth at the 1985 San Diego Comic Convention. That's cool. So yeah, that's the yeah. Ages and ages ago at the San Diego Comic-Con. It's a booth, yes. And there's a shot of another booth set up. Harmony Gold. Episode 26. This looks like a pretty good book. It has been actually ages since I've flipped through this book. Episode 53. I know I have not watched all of these episodes. I think I might have started off and got as far as like episode, I don't know, first dozen or so episodes in this show, and then I started going to other anime at that time. This is one of those old animes that you think, gee, I'm going to have to go back and give that show another shot because it's been forever and a day. We get character designs here. Oh, we got mech designs. More character designs, logos. More stuff going on. This looks like a pretty good book. If you're in blah, blah, blah. If you're a Robotech fan out there and you don't have this, you might want to look for this. This might be a good addition to your library. Oh, I see. Okay. That's why you don't like Harmony Gold. Ah, I did not know that. I can understand that now. Yeah, pictures look good. You suggest watching the original SDF Macros. Okay, I will look that up. I believe that's probably what I started long, long time ago. Robotech is a modified version of superdimension macros with context mixed with other animes. Aha. Yes, yes. All that's starting to sound a little familiar to me now. And a movie called Do You Remember Love that covers the events of the original SDF Macros. Aha. Ah, very cool. I will look those up. Personally, I love Macros 7, but not all Macros fans like it as much as I do. That's cool. That's like asking 10 Gundam fans what Gundam show they like, and you'll get 10 different answers, or at least 5 different answers. Oh, cool. Yeah, if I have trouble finding them with English dubs, okay. I imagine they are out there someplace on the interwebs, if not on a streaming service. Amazing Odyssey of Robotech continues with Robotech Art 2, a collection of new illustrations based on the Robotech universe. Robotech 1, and here's Robotech 2. I do like this art style. This top image looks really cool. I like that. Trying hard not to cough into the microphone. Robotech Gallery. Yeah, that's like almost every anime manga image you've ever seen. Huge eyes, big hair, Little nose. Yeah. One of these is not like the others. More mech designs. That's weird looking. That is neat. And that looks like old school. Oh, that's pretty neat. That kind of gives me Blade Runner feels to it. You had to manually add subtitles to the Blu-ray. I can understand that. I'm not such a anime purist that I have to have everything subtitled. If the dubbing is good, I don't mind a good dub. Of course, I remember some really old anime. It sounded like it was dubbed by one person or like 2 or 3 people doing all the voices. The very first anime I got into was Ranma 1/2, and the dub of that was pretty bad. It was not good. Oh, you're saying no dubs available for Macro 7 and later. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so I'll be reading subtitles then. No good dub available. Good dub available for the original series, but it was dumb luck that I found it. Oh, wow. Okay. So that is probably going to be something to find on Shogun Warriors. Robotech. Yeah, if I like buy any box sets, it's probably going to be a eBay find, I imagine. Those are pretty cool looking. And that is, let's see, I'm starting to drag a little bit, so I'm going to end this here pretty quick. Dun, 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 dun. Stop the camera. There we go. Let's see. Let me catch up with chat. First off, before I head on out, I want to say hello to everyone who joined me tonight. Killer Rabbit from Space, Melted Copper, DJ Ronnie G. And who else? Scrolling. Oh, Dave Bob. Hello, Dave Bob. Miss you the first time. Sorry about that. Padawannabe, hello there. Used to draw. You like to do the X-Men stuff. Very cool. Now, I never actually drew much myself. Let's see. Scrolling. Oh, there are a ton of Chinese counterfeits. Oh, goodness. Counterfeit. That's unfortunate. But yeah, it's eBay. It's like the Wild West of marketplaces, isn't it? And they're done really well. Well, I guess that's a good thing, though. Oh, okay. You kind of recommend those since they're the only game in town with good Blu-ray of Macros. Very cool. Okay. Oh, that's good to know. Well, let's see. I have been rambling on here long enough. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. It has been very cool. I hope I didn't bore you all with some bad stick figure drawing. Good talk. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. So, yeah, I didn't bore you all completely. Sometimes I feel like I can cure my own insomnia by going back and listening to my old live streams. Like, that'll put me right to sleep. But anyway, thank you all, as always, for joining me. Let's see what I will be doing next. The middle of the week. As usual, I will be hanging out with Comic Relief Crusader on Friday afternoons. And then next Monday, as usual, my usual time in the evenings, Mondays and Wednesday evenings. I usually shoot for 10 p.m. Texas time, but sometimes I don't get a good start until 11 or 11:30. I'm going to have to work on that eventually. But with that, I will. Yeah, I'll end it here. I want to thank you all for catching me live or on replay. And interesting look into the discipline behind drawing, particularly comic books and manga. That is really cool. It's just something I wanted to look into a little bit and see what all was involved. Uh, Hope it was entertaining for you all out there. Until next time, everyone, see ya.